Those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all nerds! International. With the hyphen.
Okay, so we need a really funny pre-intro joke this time because we really need one.
We're working
it's got to
on
be
it.
funny.
Okay.
Just once, one episode. We got to do one that's funny.
I got a joke for you.
Go.
Okay, so why did the mushroom go to the party?
Because he was a fun guy.
Yeah.
That makes me sad on so many levels.
Love that joke.
So that's the pre-intro depression fuel.
Enhancer.
Yeah. And on with the intro.
Sorry about that. Coming at you live from Cold War Russia, it's me, Nick Lamley Lamslice.
And me, Harrison Hunt, aka Thunstrom Poons.
And we are TableTopTwats.
Yay! Okay, welcome everybody. This is an RPG podcast all about RPG podcasts and
such.
And such. Mm-hmm. And stuff.
And bits.
And bits and stuff.
And bobs.
And we've got features coming out the fucking anus.
Creatures.
Creatures. We got features.
Teachers.
We got teachers.
Oh no, we ain't got a teacher.
No, we ain't got teachers. But what we do have is what you've been slaying. We got the main subject, which this time is going to be Knightmare.
Oh my
and
God.
we've got Adventure Cool. We got challenges. We got Fireside Tales, Electro Letters. It's going to be so packed full of shit. It's going to blow your fucking
Brains out.
.com.
Go to it now.
To what?
Brains.com.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Oi! Yeah? What you slaying?
So this is what you've been slaying, where we talk about what we've been playing. What you been playing?
I'll tell you what.
I don't give a fuck.
Oi.
What we've been. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I have been playing Pathfinder.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah, that's been good, yeah?
As we mentioned last week, we are a bunch of paranormal No, we're not.
No, not
So as we
Start again.
So as we mentioned last week, we are a bunch of forensic investigators in a fantasy land, and we're investigating the death of a lady. Hello.
Yes, a series of ladies.
Yes, and so basically, this week we did a lot of fucking about, didn't we?
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
And what we did is we basically had to go to a neighbouring town and go back to the parents' house, because our guy, like this guy Graham.
Oh, Graham.
Graham, one of the NPCs, told us to go and investigate it. And when we...
So what do we do?
Oh yeah, what we did is we told him to go ahead and we'd catch up with him. Then we went out drinking.
And we flipped him off.
And yeah, and then we tried to get a cab to another town, but the cost was too much.
Oh wow, 100 gold he wanted just to get there.
Yeah, and we were going to go
So
clubbing.
we were going to go partying, didn't we? Because
we couldn't be bothered with investigation.
we thought, fuck it, yeah. We wanted to go out partying, so we decided that we was going to get a cab to this far-flung, kind of shady town. We asked for a cab, and we was like, right, we'll get a cab, and we'll just run away.
And then we were like, okay, so we couldn't get the cab, right?
No, we
because
weren't.
it was far too
wanted
expensive.
money up front.
Yeah, and then we decided that.
Did we throw acid at his car in the end?
I did throw acid at his car, but he was asking for it. 100 gold pieces, motherfucker.
What
Here's
the
100
hell?
gold acids.
Yeah, have that.
Yeah, and in the end, what happened was that we wanted to like try and get a car instead and drive there ourselves, because
That's right.
in
So
this universe
it's a
there's
long
like
ass journey, man.
yeah, and in this universe there's like these old cars sort of thing. So it's a very long journey. So we tried to get a car. We convinced our boss to let him to lend us his car, but he said only if you use it to drive to the place
To
now
the crime scene.
and go and investigate it. And we were like, you know what, fuck it, we took the car and we went home and went to sleep for the night instead.
Yeah, because we were bummed out that we couldn't go clubbing, and then you were on quite low. Oh no, hold on. Do you want to know why I went to sleep? Because you got a beat down. Didn't
I was
you,
on
from
1
the
HP
boss?
because I was winding him up when we were trying
And he
to
just
borrow his car.
loaded on you, didn't he? Big time.
He beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to go to sleep, and then the next morning we woke up and the car was gone. Right. And so we thought, oh no, we're gonna have to really impress him, and we'll come back with some extra evidence.
I would try and find his car in the meantime.
Yeah. And so there was this phone call earlier in the game that happened, except they call each other on Ravens.
On
which is very
Ravens,
funny.
yeah, and you have to talk into his butt.
And we found out that another person was investigating one of the murders in a different neighbouring town. So what we did is we decided to take the initiative, walk all the way to that neighbouring town, which was like a 6-hour journey, and then go and get some evidence. So when we came back and told him the car was stolen, that he'd sort of be a bit happier about it.
Yeah, sorry about that. But on the plus side, we got this really cool evidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought we'd try and impress. Was it Max Fury?
Yeah, Max Fury. And it turns out that he knew where the car was and he just took it back during the night. And he didn't appreciate any of our work whatsoever. And it was sort
And
of
we
like...
walked for 6 fucking hours for 12 fucking hours for nothing.
So literally the whole game, like, thus far, including like previous episodes, has been us not really doing the investigation, and we turn up when somebody else has already done it or is in the progress of doing it, and then they say go to this town, then we fucking annoy the boss. He has a go at us.
If we stop telling Graham to fuck off all the time, we might get a bit.
Yeah, because he was an NPC that was given to us that like to try and be useful and get us on track, and
the whole party took an instant disliking to him.
and we keep trying to get him to fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know why though. It's a bit uncalled for.
I think it's funny.
I think even James was like, "Oh man, why are you being so harsh on this?"
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Well, he got a bit annoyed, didn't he? Because in the end, he was like, "Well, you should have listened to the boss then." And we were just like, "Yeah, I ain't listening to no boss." My character's, he's arrogant. He doesn't like listening to people. And then I think a lot of the party as well.
My guy's not completely into like the whole being micromanaged,
Hierarchy and shit.
either. Yeah. It's quite a free spirit.
And not to mention, I think that what we were doing, even if it wasn't that bad, we were trying to take our initiative and come back with some extra evidence.
Well, I mean, A for effort,
Exactly. But he wasn't happy with that. And
no, it wasn't good enough for old
so
Max Fury.
my character's pretty pissed off, and I'm not sure if he's going to continue working for the company because he put in all this effort.
We just spoke about it, didn't we?
Yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. But the other thing is, you may have seen a video that we uploaded where we did an unboxing.
I still feel sick.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So we got sent a package from a listener, Gary.
We did. Wow. Yeah.
He sent us
Close personal friend.
He sent us a bunch of Canadian confectionaries, and
Or candies.
or sweets. And
So what's candy over here?
it's a stripper that I know.
Apart from her. Because we don't really go in the shop and buy candy, do we? It's sweets, everything. So even chocolate sweets, it would all come
Heroin.
under I suppose like jellies. Did you used to call them jellies, or was it still sweets?
Gummies.
Gummies, yeah.
But anyway, the point is he
I
sent
digress.
he sent us a bunch of nibbles, and we chowed down on them.
Oh man, good nibbles.
And in addition to that, in the package there was a copy of Shadowrun.
Incredible gift. Yeah.
Gary has very kindly sent us a copy of Shadowrun 5th edition, and we were just having a look through it like a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
and,
we were, weren't we? Yeah.
Man, it's so cool. And we just want to say, in addition to the video that we made, in case you didn't see that, thank you very much to Gary for sending that over. We appreciate that so much. We're going to have a read of it. But we just had a look at the book, and we were looking at the cyber enhancements, the weapons, the magic, and we were just like, man, this looks so cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it.
Really
it's going to
nice,
be amazing.
Really nice book.
So that's basically what we've been slaying this week.
Yeah, we've been
been
slaying Gary's present, and we've been slaying...
Yeah, we slayed some of those chocolates.
Some of them sweets, some of them candies, and we've been slaying a bit of Pathfinder, and and Pathfinder's been brilliant as well, so that's it.
It's been good.
Yeah, good funs.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Gary.
Especially Big Mac.
You're
Thank
a good guy, Big Mac.
Love you.
Greetings, child, and welcome to the crypt of the main subject.
That is the coolest song ever made.
Just hearing that
It brings you back.
made the hairs in the back of my neck stand up.
It's amazing.
I feel so nostalgic right now.
What we are doing, what we're talking about is Knightmare. And this is a bit non-traditional, right? Because, this is a tabletop RPG program.
Yep.
But Knightmare is a game show from the UK. But it is very, very related to RPGs.
Totally, yeah, totally.
It's an amazing, amazing show. And basically, what it is a game show where one kid has to put on a thing called the Helmet of Justice.
Yep.
And navigate through a dungeon. But the dungeon is all done using these green screen effects and hand-drawn effects, and he's guided by 3 other kids.
Advisors.
Yeah, who sit watching him
On a screen.
On basically a monitor and a treasure chest.
Exactly.
And it's like a D&D type dungeon, and they have to navigate him through by giving him instructions. So they'll be like, yeah, go left, go right, go through the door in front of you, and they describe everything that they can see. So it'll be like, in front of you can see this, and it's basically like challenge rooms.
Yeah, exactly. It's dungeon. Yeah, they're a dungeoneer, and each room's a puzzle, and there's there's.
It is the most cheesy thing on the planet. It's so cool, and it's like
So cool.
the whole thing is presided over by this dungeon master called Treguard. He's the fucking coolest guy on the planet.
I think he's a really good actor. He's generally perfect for the role. Like the way I don't know. Even watching it now, when he pops up at the beginning, it's like it's cheesy as hell.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh man, I miss this guy.
And he basically he'll try and guide the kids and give them little tips. So he'll be like, "You want to hurry in this room, children?
Warning, dungeoneers!
There is something terrible.
Your life force is being sapped quickly."
And that basically brings us on to the next point, which is they have a life force.
Yeah.
Which is basically, as time goes on, their life force depletes, and it's got this weird graphic of a face.
It's a face with a helmet on, and then first of all, metal eyebrows fall off, and then the metal ears drop off, and eventually,
And then the skin comes off.
the skin falls off, and it's just a skull, and then the skull fractures and falls into small pieces.
And that shows how much time they've got left.
Yeah.
And then, in order to get more time, they have to get food from the dungeon.
Or conquer the room they're in. So
Yes.
if they've done the puzzle that they need to do, and they've taken a bit long to do it, the time will come up, and you're like, come on, just get to the door. That's all you've got to do. And if they go through the door, then it kind of resets, I think.
Well, take the right steps for further
Right,
progress.
turn right slightly, and turn left a bit, forward until I say stop.
Remember, that which
Turn
does
left
not
slightly.
read right must be spelt correctly.
And say open.
So let's talk about some of the classic puzzles in Knightmare, some of the rooms, right? They're all drawn in this sort of D&D, classic D&D type way, aren't they? And it's these hand-drawn effects.
Not bad either for its time.
No, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
For its time.
And so you go in and you often see there's one with 3 doors or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 4 doors.
3 archways, and there'd be they're gated, and it'd be a simple kind of puzzle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be there's letters on the ground.
Yeah.
And so the guys have to direct the dungeoneer to step on the words to spell out the word open. Step
That's
on
right,
the letters.
yeah.
And
Turn left, 1 step. No, right.
Yeah, no,
Forward
right.
2 step. No, hold on.
Turn right. No, you've gone too far.
No, you turned around now.
And that's one of the biggest problems. Whenever they have to face something like that, the kids are the most fucking annoying shits in the world, because they are all British, right? But they sound like they're doing bad impressions of British people. They're like, right. They're just like, right, turn left, yeah? Right, now go right
The
there.
one we just watched was some Geordie lads, and he was like, "It's a kick."
Yeah, go left, mate. No, right, go right.
No, back up now. That's a really bad impression.
Yeah, it's racist. But it's so funny. And then you might have there's rooms where there's a wall that has a face on it, and the face will start talking, and it'll give them
What's the wall's name?
gravitas.
Gravitas. No, Granitas.
Granitas, that's it. And he's like, there is nothing funny about my name.
Do you think the writers kind of slipped that in?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I didn't think you could say arse at that time of day for a kid's show.
Yeah, and it would be you'd have to solve a riddle or something. So it'd be
fucking tricky.
What is that? They
No,
range.
so the whole thing was 3 questions. Okay,
Yeah.
if they get 1 question right, they will just be able to pass through. If they get 2 questions right, they get they get a clue. And
Yeah.
if they get all 3 questions right, they get a super clue. And if they get them all wrong, they basically.
It'll be you'll give you the password or something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
And the questions, they range from being unbelievably stupidly easy to so hard no
one
child
knows
would
it.
possibly
Yeah.
get it.
And and on the table you'll have so in that room often when the wall monster pops up, and the old what's his name again? I forget. Is that Tragar?
Yeah.
He's like, warning Dungeoneers, I'm sensing a presence here. And then he's like, oh, it's okay, it's a level 1 wall monster, but they will sap your energy. And in front of him's a table, and there's like, what, 4 items?
Yeah, and if they clear the room, they'll be able to pick one of those items.
Exactly.
And it might come in handy later on.
Yeah.
So they had like the Warrior's Gauntlet.
But they can only take one.
Yes. They had pearls or a tankard, and like later on you might meet another NPC in a dungeon.
That needs something.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, I desire pearls!
Well, one of the ones got it wrong, didn't they? Because it's like there's a comb, like an afro comb, and then like they didn't pick that up, and then in the next one there was a lady like sitting over a chasm, and
oh, that's one of the funniest bits.
David, you're in a rocky cavern. You're standing on the edge of a chasm, right? So don't move. A chasm, sorry. Now, at the top of the cavern there is a serpent's head, and across the chasm is a woman.
It's so good.
Bless
but yeah, like I remember one of the wall monster puzzles once was like it was like, what was it? Who was the first person in Lord of the Rings to have the ring?
Yeah.
And like Spoonie spoke about this in one of his videos where he was like, well, actually the first person I suppose would have been Smeagol. Oh no, but actually Deagle had it because Smeagol stole it from Deagle. So it was the answer's Deagle, and all the kids are like, say Bilbo, say Bilbo. And then they all say it. They all say Bilbo, and the wall monster is like, truth accepted. And you're like, what? Are you kidding? That's definitely wrong.
that's falsehood.
My favourite one is in like, it's one of the first episodes where the kids, one of the answers to the riddle is stone. And they're answering like they're like water runs down me and I can be hewn into any shape or something like that, and they're like stone, and he's like truth accepted, and then the next one he's like I
am the bed of this and the land of something else. It was like some really deep kind of old
and they're like say stone, and he's like truth denied. And
no,
he's like
no, falsehood.
Yeah, that's it. And then they obviously got it completely wrong.
But they got by. I haven't seen anyone get all 3 questions wrong, but I've seen some really shit players, man. I've seen them, like, I think one of them ran out of time because they fart-arsed around for so long in like the first room.
Man, that's one of the fun things about Knightmare though, because often, like, because the Dungeoneer is blinded by the helmet they have.
The helmet of justice on the head, so the only thing they can see is obviously a small little bit below them, so
their feet, so they don't trip over.
But they waste time because they're like, right, they're trying to like microscopically kind of guide them into the table, and you just want to say, look, and
put your hands out, walk forward.
And the Dungeoneer could be like, I can see the table, and they're like, move forward 1 more step, so I can see the table. You just be like, grab the table and then walk over and tell me what's on there.
It's so frustrating because you always see the kids like, this guy's blind and that everyone's trying to direct him, and they always do everything so slowly,
and they get the hump with him.
And,
like
and when you have like a room where you need to fucking hurry, nobody ever does. They're like, right, turn right, now turn left, right,
and then they all talk over each other. So one of them's going left. He's like, what, 180? And then when he does it wrong, they get the hump with him. He's like, the kid's blind. He's got a helmet on.
Your
Don't
directions are the ones that are
him.
shit. Yeah.
And it's like, no, David, you've gone the wrong way again. And it's like, give him a break.
I know, man. But it's so good because whenever you watch it, you it's a proper shouting at the TV sort of program, and you're always like, fucking hurry up, you fucking idiot, what are you doing? And it's like,
but even at 32 years old, I've been watching a few Knightmare episodes for this podcast.
Yeah, we were watching it today,
and I can honestly say when the time is getting close to the end, and all they've got to do is run forward through a door, and like there's parts of the floor falling off, you are literally going, just go, and your heart starts beating. And
well, the funny thing is that I'll talk about like the creation of the show a little bit, and the guy that made it, I think his name was Tim Childs, and he basically wanted it to be challenging. Like, he wanted it to be really fucking challenging. And in the entire 8 seasons that this show ran, they only ever had 8 teams of people finish it.
Wow.
And so I don't know how many episodes that is, but that's a lot of fucking episodes, and only 8 people ever did it. It's remarkable. But basically what happened is that I believe that this program was on CITV, which was ITV is a competitor to the BBC, if anybody knows that. And
they have adverts.
Yeah, and CITV was
to pay for the BBC.
Yeah,
basically.
And CITV was the kids ITV that aired on Saturday morning.
Yep.
And basically, one of the guys that was working for the company at the moment, they had like the green screen technology and changing graphics that they used for being a weatherman. You know, where they would do that. And he was
right.
like, why can't we use this for something more interesting? And so Tim Childs basically pitched this idea, and he hired one artist to do all the artwork. So you might look at the effects and be like, they're shit. But it was one guy doing it.
Yeah, and also, but honestly, I mean, when was this out? Early 90s?
Yeah.
So this came out in the early 90s, and if anyone's never seen this before and listens to this podcast, thinks, right, I'm going to go on YouTube and check out the episodes, look at it with an open mind, because you've got to grant what it was done on, and at the time it was made. And if you actually look at it like that, I think you'd agree,
And
even now, it's not that bad.
And at that point, like, that sort of technology wasn't widely
Never
used
saw that.
for simple things like that.
No.
I mean, it was so good. And yeah, basically, the guy still owns the rights to it today. And if you go to his website, it tells you all about how he's like the creator of it, and he's really proud of it. And he's got a...
it's brilliant, though. You can't not say that it's a fantastic
great
kids
fun.
show. I loved it as a kid.
And he's got... his company's called Dungeon Mastery Limited, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, so that was basically how it got made. And he said that at the time, you got a lot of kids shows, like game shows, things like Crystal Maze and shit like that.
Get your own back. It was you would have had Funhouse with Pat Sharp. Do you remember that?
And
lots of slime.
Yeah, and basically, he said that all of those shows were easy, and he wanted to make something that was challenging for kids. So, and in this show, you literally just keep seeing kids dying in this horrible dungeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so funny. But at the time, there was this woman called Mary Whitehouse, who was this sort of slacktivist woman at the time, who was trying to sort of like better the TV that our children are watching and shit like that. And she criticised Knightmare because it had the killing of children in it. And the funny thing is that she was criticising it. She had a go, and then Tim Child showed her an episode, and she immediately was like, "Actually, it's not that bad." And
it's not at all. There's no killing at all. If you remember, they make a very, very big point of
saying they only die in that world, but they're still living in.
And it's
their
straight
world.
away, it's like, as you can see, David is fine and well. And there's like this kind of picture again when they're in the green screen, and they're all sitting in this kind of like almost like a meadow or an opening from a mountain, and there's like a rainbow in the background, and then all of a sudden the advisors then materialise next to David, and they all wave at the screen, don't they?
Oh yeah.
And then it's like they're absolutely fine. They walk off into the normal world. That's when Rhaegar makes us feel really bad. But he's like, you armchair adventurers can go back to your normal lives, and they all get frozen basically, don't they?
Yeah, but he's a bit of a dick really, because the whole storyline of it is that he it's like, well,
originally why they're going in there in the first place.
Well, originally it was because basically it's Traegard's house, who's the DM, and when they go into his house, he's like fucked everything up, and he's made this ever-shifting castle. And he wants so he hires children from the future, teleporting them into his world to go into his fucking crazy Home Alone fucking dungeon house to go and retrieve his treasure that he's left in there.
Exactly.
It's like so you're sending kids to their deaths.
You selfish,
bearded twat
guy.
Yeah, and it's so funny because that was originally the storyline. Then they changed it and like added a villain in later series. But it's pretty funny because he's criticising them, calling them armchair adventurers when he's doing fuck all. He's sitting there giving them hints, and there's like bits that he sees, like he knows certain rooms, and if he wants them really to succeed, why doesn't he just tell them?
Oh, what about earlier when it was like they went into a room and there was it was your classic kind of stone room, and there was like a big broken part at the back, and it was just going out onto the like black basically.
Yeah.
And there's a door next to it to the right hand side, wasn't it? And then as they walked in, you just see these kind of two eyes open up.
Where am I? You're in a room with the archway leading out, and there's a green monster.
Oh, I haven't met this monster before. A friend or foe, I wouldn't know, but I shouldn't wait to find out.
And it's like, it's your fucking dungeon,
Pay more attention to your own house.
If you're going to send these poor children in to try and sort out your
maybe
fuck up,
do a bit of recon.
Do a bit of fucking recon. Yeah.
Come on, Traegard.
Sort it out, Traegard.
You fuck. But the NPCs are amazing because they had like, they're basically all these actors, that are paid to be NPCs in this dungeon, and they're all so over the top.
They overegg all of it, don't they?
Traegard, his acting is actually pretty decent because throughout the whole thing, he sort of maintains this like persona, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, the thing's the rock monster that's a wall. essentially thought he was doing Hamlet. Let's be honest. Like, rain down. It's all right, mate.
Well,
you're a wall.
Yeah, and then it's like where you get Treguard. It's like he actually does quite a good job. And the actor said that he had to memorise an unbelievable amount of lines every week.
Yeah.
Because he had to record for like an hour, and the whole time he was in character. And he said that like a lot of it he had to ad-lib and stuff like that. Whereas you get these other actors, they're only in it for 30 seconds, and they're like, yeah, you're in the witch's domain, and all of this, and you're like, come on, mate, calm down a little bit.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But one of the best ones is where there was this, there was a monk. And the monk is like sad, and he's standing there, and he's like, I don't want to open the door to the next chamber because I'm so depressed. And then the kids are like, they're like, you got to cheer him up. Tell him to cheer up. And the kid's like, cheer up. And he just like with no personality. And the guy's like, no, it's not helping. And they're like, tell him you like him. Tell him you like him. And he's like, well, I suppose that's a little better, but I still don't feel quite right. And they're like, tell him you love him. And then this kid's like, I love you.
Give him a
I
hug.
love you. And he's like, do you love me? And he's like, yeah, I love you. I think you're great. And he starts like getting really into it. He's like, you're the best person I've ever met.
Oh my God.
And it's like, it's so funny. The guy's like, well, I do feel a little better now. Go through the door. Oh,
What about the sex pest?
oh yeah, the Jester sex pest.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh man, the Jester's so annoying. It does speak about overacting. He's like, fiddle-dee-dee, will you get through the dungeon? Hee-hee.
And he had really bad face paint on that was really disturbing. And he's like basically running after a woman, prodding her with his like staff. And
Yeah, he's like prodding her in the tit.
Yeah, and he prodded her in the tit and stuff, and then what did he say? And then she fucked off, and then like he turns to the kids like, "Oh, children to play with."
Yeah, and then he's like, and now we're going to play a game called Chase the Girls.
Chase the girl.
And it's like, what are you doing? He's
Yeah.
actually the sex jester.
Yeah, and he just ran off like, oh no, and then he was like, quickly, and then started jabbing them in the butt with his fucking
For
stuff.
this puzzle, you will have to bend over, and I will insert the key.
Right, it's a lot more innocent than we're saying, so don't think that we've just tried to we've bigged this show up and it's got really bad bits in it. It's just
It's like it was more innocent times.
so innocent, yeah.
Where you could say things like that and you wouldn't instantly be thought of as a paedophile.
And then when I turned around, she's like, did he just jab her in the tit? I don't think that was a conscious thing, but
no, I think it was.
she just
I
let
saw
it
the
go.
look in his eyes, man. He was loving it. He was
I think he had a little version of himself on his stick, which is even more disturbing.
yeah.
Oh,
Do you think that one had an even smaller version of himself on there?
Anyway,
But so let's discuss like some of our favourite moments from Knightmare.
Yes.
There are some fucking great bits. I've got two that I wanted to share. And first one is Shroud. Now, any long-time watchers of Knightmare will know this. I think it was the second team in Series 7, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And what it is that in Knightmare you have these like spells, and to do it, all you have to do is get the Dungeoneer. You have to get him to spell out a word.
Spellcast.
Right? And there's a bit, right, where Treguard, like something happens to him and he's in like a sort of catatonic state on his chair and he can't move and all of this, right? And one of the kids has to spell out the word shroud. They're at the end of the dungeon and he has to spell out the word shroud to stop from dying. I can't remember how,
Yep.
but he has to spell out shroud, and the kids are going S-H-R-U-D, shrud. And then it's like spellcasting failed. And then they keep doing it. They're like, what?
Shrud.
All the kids are looking at each other
Why
like,
is
why isn't it
working?
working?
Yeah.
And they're just like S-H-R-U-D. And they just do it again, and it's like so fucking frustrating. And then they're like,
oh, you idiot!
the life force is going down, it's going down, it's going down. They're like S-H. And then Treguard actually breaks character a little bit, and he's like in his catatonic state still, but he's like, oh,
Oh no!
and he's desperately trying to get them to say oh, and they're like, oh right, yeah, and they go S-H-R-U-O-D.
Oh no!
And it's like, so it's Shruod, and it's just like, and then of course I'm fairly certain, if I remember correctly, they die instantly.
Oh dear.
One of my other favourites is where there's this kid who's like the Dungeoneer. He's walking across this platform, and it's where like floating platforms, and they're sort of like falling out from underneath him.
Yeah.
And this kid has to walk forward, right? And all the platforms are like crumbling. The one he's standing on is fine, but the one immediately to the left of him falls down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then instantly one of the kids who's guiding him just goes, sidestep to the left. And the kid does it and falls down the hole and dies immediately. It's like, and then the kid who guided him and said that, he looks at his like little notepad that he's got, and he does this like gesture like with his arm where he's like, damn. And he's like, it was as if he thought that was going to work. I think
that might work. Maybe it's not really a hole.
The thing I thought of was, I think that he saw the platform fall and thought the puzzle was to go into the hole. And when he did it, he was like, damn it.
Why didn't that work?
Usually in games, when you fall down a hole, it's a good thing.
You're fine, yeah. I've got a couple of good ones I absolutely love as well. There's one when it's just way too hard. There's a scene where they've got like a long corridor and they're walking down this corridor and they've got blades coming at them from different directions.
Man.
So like there's a blade coming down the wall and it'll either be on the left or the right and, high or low. So, and they're like, jump to the left side, no, duck, quickly. And it'll fly past, And like, so anyway, the kid dodges around about 4, right? And I'm thinking that's pretty good because he's moving quite quickly, and these kind of buzzsaws are coming down pretty quick. And after 4, he's still dodging them. I'm thinking, come on, guys, when are you going to stop this like level? And I think he does about 9 in the end, and the kid's
it's
nearly
probably
out
more.
of breath and stuff. It's unreal, and I'm like, is this ever going to stop?
Yeah, because you just see them constantly going past. It's like, and they're like, jump to the
They're
right,
like, duck,
jump to the
quick.
left,
Yeah,
stay
jump to
where
the
you
right.
are.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, man.
It was just went on forever, and you're just like, they figured this puzzle out.
Yeah,
They cut it
they
off.
nailed it. But it's almost like the producer or whatever's like, look, keep it going until they fuck up.
No, do you know what? Thinking about it, I think he was supposed to advance forward through the corridor, but he was standing in one place.
Oh,
it's
and
just occurred to me.
That's why it just kept happening because he wasn't actually moving anywhere. He was just going from side.
Yeah, he
to
was just
side.
staying in the same room. Fuck, man, I didn't realise that when I watched it.
And my other favourite one is it was quite really early on, so I don't know if everybody really knew what was going on with Nightmare, and a lot of these kids looked like they had no clue.
Yeah.
And even Traeger had to make everything really, really easy for them. Warning, Dungeoneers, like if you don't hurry up.
Yeah.
And anyway, this group had just come on, and there wasn't much time left in that episode. And normally, like if one dies in the middle, then they squeeze someone else on.
Yeah, they'll start the next team.
Exactly, but I think there was not much time at all, and maybe because they were just a bit thick that they were like, yeah, but these ones are next, because they literally got to the second room, and they were like, turn round, no, turn to your left, and she was spinning round, and then like they were all talking over each other. So she's like, no, turn round. She was like, what are you saying? And I was like, turn round, and she literally spent her whole life force just turning around, and like they were getting the hump with her. And the poor girl was blind with a helmet on, and they were like, "No, Daisy, you don't, not that way." And poor thing. And anyway, they spent the whole time just sending her around in like a 360, and she never got to the door. Well, that was all she had to do.
That's another cool thing about the video that Spoonie did, is he gives like top tips for players, and he's like, for some reason British kids always say right, and I've said that like in this episode, and you notice it so much when you watch it. They're always like, right, go left, right. And it's like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so annoying. But one of the things he said is have a dedicated shot caller. All of you should chime in, right? But only one player should give the instructions to the Dungeoneer. Yeah, so you can be like, tell him to do this, tell him to do that, and then he'll go, right, David, go left. Instead of like fucking
right.
Yeah,
go left,
all of them just shouting over each other. I mean, we'll demonstrate it now. Imagine if this is us giving you instructions.
Should we do Nightmare? Shall I put something on my head and then you can tell me where to go from my like that door to
Actually, that's a good idea. No, we'll do that for the Chamber of Challenges.
Perfect.
Okay, no, but like, all right, so this is what it sounds like when the kids are giving you instructions. All right, go left.
Right, no, David, listen.
There's a chest in front of you, David.
180.
No, David, turn
David,
around.
go
That's
left.
it. No,
that's it.
But
No,
go
you've gone
right.
too far.
Right, go left,
little
right.
bit left.
Yeah,
little
no,
bit right.
and
Listen, David.
You can see how that would be annoying.
So not only have you got a helmet on,
yeah,
you can't see. You've got to listen to that shit in your ears. Yeah.
So grow up.
Grow up.
But if any players did manage to get to the end of the dungeon, which, as I said, only happened 8 times over the whole series, they would win some sort of shitty coin thing, didn't they?
Well, to be fair, yeah. So if you died,
but if I won that, I'd be on my wall, man.
Well, no, the thing is, it was quite. I don't know. I mean, maybe prizes for shows back in the 90s were just really bad.
No, but they still are, because I mean, things like Countdown, you get like a little bit of glass with Countdown etched into it or whatever.
Fair though, if you go into catchphrase, I know we spoke about catchphrase before. Even back then and now, they win ridiculous amounts of money for the amount of effort they have to put in.
Yeah, I suppose
compared
so.
to other shows like like Pointless.
But Nightmare's all about the fun of it, man.
Nightmare's brilliant.
And
I reckon they did get a scroll. I'll be peeping. I mean, come on, just a scroll. Give them a little sword. Or
no, they got a scroll if they lost.
Oh,
and if they beat the dungeon, they got the coin with the 2 swords on it.
Ooh.
But I reckon, right, that probably a lot of the budget went on the effects.
Yeah, totally.
And so they were like, what can we give them as a prize? Just a coin. Give them a coin.
Kids love a coin.
Here's a penny.
Give him a pie.
Get fucked.
A lot of cakes in Knightmare.
That was so funny. Yeah, there was. Alright, last and final Nightmare memory.
Oh, so stop talking about it.
Yeah, it was the bit where there's a bunch of Geordie kids on there, and one of them approaches the table with the items on it, and they're trying to figure out which items to take. And one of them goes, "There's a cake on the table." Basically, I'll translate, there's a cake on the table, and it's quite obviously a pie.
Yeah, totally a pie.
And then later on, they're like talking about it, and they're like, "Don't get the cake out the bag." And they're like, "It's not a cake,
it's a pie,
you idiot! Grow up!" And then there was like the episode,
"You idiot child,
you fucking cunt." And we just watched an episode as well, like, for some reason, right, and this is an observation I'd like to make, for some reason, back in the day, people looked a lot older.
When they were younger?
Yeah. And like, there was this episode we were watching, the range of ages on Nightmare range from 11 to 16.
It's quite big, because that's like pretty much the whole of, well, not the whole of adolescent, puberty.
But when you're 11, a 16-year-old, to you, that's an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like...
It's a big old mix. I wonder if the kids were used to it. Saying that, though, first episode, the kid, David...
They're all dressed like businessmen.
They've done pretty well, though.
Yeah, they did all right. But the episode we just watched, it was a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
And there was like these 3 girls, and you know they were dressed in some pretty ridiculous shit. But in the middle of them is a woman that definitely is not a child. Is definitely 40
totally
and lied on the floor.
Totally their mum.
And then she talks. Everyone's like, "Right, you need to do this," and she's like, "Okay, fucking right now. What
Go
we're doing.
forward, lads.
Go forward. Come on, daughter. I mean, friend."
I mean, sister.
Yeah, man.
Brilliant. Nightmare, we love you.
But it's one of our favourite shows, and it is so cheesy, and it is so, ridiculous.
But it's got a lot of D&D links to it.
Quite clearly. I mean, actually, the guy that made it, Tim Child, wasn't inspired by D&D. He was inspired by the Atari games Attic Attack and Dragon Talk. And
Dragon Talk?
TORK. Yeah,
that
and
kind of talk.
Attic Attack is a great game by Rare, and Dragon Talk is abysmal.
Remember Rare?
But anyway, the point is that it's like watching people play a really cheesy game of D&D, and it's one of those shows where as you're watching it, you think about what you would do, and it makes you get frustrated and you shout at the screen. But it's such good fun.
It's exciting, and some of the stuff is for real. Edge of the seat stuff,
and
even now.
Actually, if from a completely cheesy perspective, you might see things in there that you can put into your D&D games.
Yeah.
Like, I know it would be fucking stupid to have a talking wall, give people riddles and shit. But like,
a giant that you have to get past before he sneezes.
But it might be funny just to slip one of those in there when you're doing an uber serious campaign. Suddenly have the sex chest to come out.
Little nod to Nightmare. Yeah, the sex chest that comes out of his hands.
The cool thing about this is, yes, it was a British programme that aired in the 90s on ITV. But anyone can go and watch it right now. An amazing YouTube user called Dynamite Heady has uploaded all of these. So just go into YouTube and type Nightmare season
with an
in
K,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nightmare as in night.
As in night and mare, yeah.
And the every series from 1 to 8 is on there. And a couple of years ago during Geek Week on YouTube, they did a special where they had Ashens and some other YouTubers on there doing a new version of it with the woman that played Dobby in Peep Show as a new advisor, and they brought Treguard back.
And they actually got the original Treguard
and he's
back.
a bit old, he's put on a bit of weight, but he nailed it once again.
Still.
The world's greatest DM.
Yeah, he is.
And so go and watch them all now on YouTube, because you will not regret it. I mean, I know this is a little bit waffly and we're just talking about it, but
because we love it, because it's
such
from
a good program, man.
But honestly, it genuinely is a really good program.
And I think the reason we want to talk about this is because I think a lot of people, that watch it are because I think that a lot of our listenership are from America and Canada and things like that, and they might not have seen this.
Never seen this, yeah.
So if you haven't,
please go and check it out.
It's so good.
It is really good.
David, you're in a rocky cavern. You're standing on the edge of a chasm. At the top of the cavern and across the chasm is a woman. David, you're in a rocky cavern. You're standing on the edge of a chasm. At the top of the cavern and across the chasm is a woman.
Yeah, so when I was working at Santander, which is a hideous corporate bank, I was working for them, and this guy called up, right, and his name was Keith, and then his surname was DE''ATH, right? And I was like, he was like, doing car finance, and we were going through it and all of that, and he's like, we're talking on the phone, and I'm like, okay, I'll just process that for you now, Mr. Death. And he was like, my name is Death.
Death.
People are not called Death.
But we're going to turn him into a character.
I saw a lot of funny names there. I know it's boring to talk about names, but the best one I saw was on the same day I saw somebody called Stephen Jeevens.
Stephen Jeevens. This made me laugh. So, yeah, I actually met a guy that I did a job for who was called Amazing, first name, Grace.
Oh, no.
Name. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, my mum knew somebody in Africa called Sexy Boy.
He was an African guy as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe they was...
Cool names out there.
Yeah, I was about to say weird names, but that would be racist, so I didn't say it. Okay?
Amazing Grace was a really nice guy.
In a land far beyond your imagining, adventure waits. And down beneath you will find things that you never dreamed of seeing. Goblins, orcs, treasures, mountains of gold. Will you be brave enough to delve deep and beat the final boss of the dungeon? This is Adventure Calls, available for $49.99.99. Available at all good retailers.
Okay, so this is Adventure Call, and this is where we call up a fucking place and we do a prank call.
Yeah.
And we know that prank calls are childish, okay?
Stupid.
They're pathetic and they're for losers.
But they're a laugh, aren't they?
And that's why we're going to do one.
So we're going to do one.
So, Nick is going to call a estate agent, and he's going to pretend to be a man, an evil overlord looking for a new castle.
Good afternoon, Mountain Attacker Andrew speaking. How may I help?
Oh yes, hello. My name is Keith Diath.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not too bad, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. How can I help?
Why, I'm actually in the market for a new property.
Okay.
Yes, I'm looking for something that's primarily made out of stone.
Okay.
Quite tall, large, almost like a spired, like a castle-esque type place.
Okay. Unfortunately, we haven't got any of them at the moment.
I see. Okay, well, how about normal property, maybe with a dungeon attached to it? Underneath, maybe.
You see my license?
I think the East Grinstead branch have got one of them.
Oh, that's good news. Oh, I see. Does it come with a torture chamber?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, marvellous.
I think it comes with two of them. Yeah.
Wow, okay, well, you see, I am actually an evil overlord. And I've been in a small flat for quite some time, and my monsters are starting to get a little bit unruly. So I thought if we move them to a larger castle, it would go more with the kind of look I'm going for. You know?
Okay.
So I'm hoping you could help me.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I say, Tim from the East Grinstead branch, if you have a chat with him, he's brilliant
Marvellous.
at all that sort of...
Is he a warlock at all, or?
No.
Sorcerer?
I think he's a dungeon master.
Oh, this is fantastic news. Yes, I could definitely speak to this guy. Okay, well, listen. If anything does come up at all, even a smaller... I'd go for a one-bed flat as long as it's got the stone walls. They're very important.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for the stone walls. Do you any particular stone, or are you open to any kind?
I'm quite partial to obsidian. Is quite nice. I quite like that. Or maybe a dark granite would be good.
Dark granite?
Yes.
Expensive taste.
Excellent. And
very nice, very nice.
I didn't catch your name.
Very classy. My name's Andrew.
Andrew, listen, Andrew, if you ever want to get out of the house selling biz and want to get into the dungeon biz, do give me a call.
I will do. I will keep your name.
Marvellous. That's fantastic. Okay, thank you.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Thank you for calling Homes Partnership. Speaking with Ronnie.
Oh, hello, yes. I was hoping to speak to Tim.
I actually don't work in the East Grinstead branch. I'll just put you through to Adam, alright?
Okay, that's fine.
One moment.
Oh, I like this one. It's a good number. Go right in my dungeon. Let me...
Adam speaking, how can I help?
Oh, hello, Adam. I was speaking to Martin over at another branch, and he told me to speak to you. I'm looking for a new property.
A new property?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Okay, perfect.
script, and how can I help with that?
Well, my name is Keith Diath. That's spelled D-E-A-T-H.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yes. And I'm actually looking to upgrade.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm currently in a small flat, but I'm looking for something that's more castle-esque.
Okay.
Tall, stony, bleak, painted with the blood of adventurers would be nice.
Painted with the blood of adventure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You see, I've got an ogre, a pet ogre. He's very sweet. And I need a place to put him where he can run around a little bit more. You know.
Those pet ogres are terrible, aren't they?
Well, you know, being an overlord isn't as easy as people think. It's not all torture and fun, you know. Sometimes you've got to think about the welfare of your creatures. That's the main thing, and this is why we're speaking. So
People just don't understand how hard it is for an overlord.
I know, right? I know. Have you ever been in the biz yourself?
Oh, well, I wish I was in the business of
Hey,
being an overlord.
listen. If your bosses aren't listening, I can give you my number. Come work for me. You'll love it. And this smells quite appalling. So I'd like to say, you know, somewhere where we could expand our horizons.
Okay, fine.
I found you, you monster!
Oh.
Be slain, foul beast!
Oh, I might have to take this. 1 second.
Sounds like
No, you'll never pass me. You'll never pass this dungeon, fool.
But I have the magic staff.
Means nothing here.
Take that, you fuck! Okay, it's me. Don't worry. I've slain him. It is I, Simon Belmont.
Your name was Keith a minute ago.
No, it is I, Simon Belmont, adventurer extraordinaire. I have killed Keith Diath, and I have stopped his evil reign. He died a gruesome death at the hands of the spell of Sanothsar.
I'm not quite dead.
Silence! I think he's dead now. I was worrying for a minute there. I thought he was gonna reanimate.
You thought he was dead.
Who am I speaking to?
My name's Adam.
Adam? I'm gonna need a clean-up job at this here dungeon. There's body parts of adventurers everywhere.
Okay, I don't know many cleaners, I'm afraid. So you might need to
Send someone immediately, Adam. Come yourself if need be. There's a lot of body parts that need to be cleared up, and I'm not talking about my penis.
Okay. Probably over the line.
The Lance of Light.
Okay.
Over the line, man. I'll tell you what's over the line. You were consorting with evil overlords, and you shall be next. I shall use the wand of Gamelon on you. Adam? I'm sorry, I get a bit heated after battle. They call it the Red Mist.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for everything. Could we perhaps meet up and go for a meal? Sushi! Sushi!
Okay.
Sushi!
I've got some very important work to do.
Sushi, Adam!
Simon, sorry.
Sushi! Sushi! Okay, I think that went well.
Welcome to the Chamber of Challenges. Chamber of Challenges. The Chamber of Challenges. Chamber of Challenges. The Chamber of Challenges.
Next up, we have got the Chamber of Challenges.
Chamber of Challenges.
And this is where we set challenges for each other. So, Nick.
I have challenged Harrison to do a challenge in the spirit of Knightmare. So he's currently donning our version of the Helmet of Justice, which we will post on G+, so you can appreciate it. It kind of looks like a mummy, but it's fine. And basically, he is facing my... Well, I'm not going to tell him where he's facing. because I've just spun him round. But I am now going to try and navigate blinded Harrison to the other side of my house to pick up a metal dice and bring it back. Now I've put a few. I can't even say it. Now I've put a few obstacles in the way to make his challenge a little bit harder, just like Knightmare.
My body is ready.
And yeah, so he's ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, I want you to. Okay, so we're going to start. Let's go. Right, so I want you to turn.
Where am I?
You are in a open kitchen. No, actually, I'm going to. No, that's making fancy. Just
what was that?
That was a gargoyle. Don't worry about that. Okay, so you are in a large cave that's dark and dank. You can hear water dripping in the background, and it's quite smelly in here. There's a doorway ahead of you. So if you keep turning, that's it. Now, oh no, stop. Now walk forwards. Gently walk forward. Keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right. This is extremely scary. I can't see anything. Oh god.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, am I going in the right direction?
Keep walking straight.
Alright, okay.
You alright? Okay, keep walking straight.
Yeah.
Stop.
Why?
Go to your left a little bit. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, go forward.
Is there a trap here?
There was a trap there, but you might.
Am I the dog?
Keep going.
Sorry. It's so hard to maintain balance.
Keep going forward. Right, keep walking forward. Oh, he's just hit the wall. Keep going.
I'm in the front room, I think.
Be careful of stuff on the floor.
What is on the floor?
Well, just be careful.
Traps.
Right, put your hands down and pad in front of you. Can you feel the table? Can you feel the chest?
I got it. I got the dice.
Oh, you got the dice, right.
I got the dice.
Turn around, 180, that's it. Now walk forwards.
I'm just going to stride confidently.
Got to try and... Oh.
What was that?
That's the cat. No, that's the cat scratch. Keep walking forward.
I'm coming.
I mean, not a cat. Oh.
What's that? Wow!
Keep walking confidently
that?
forward. You keep walking on the cat bed thing. Right, yeah, walk forward. Stop. Turn to your right. That's it. Now walk forward a little bit. Stop. Turn to your left again. Now walk forward.
I'm trying to do it like I do a nightmare.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
no.
what the fuck?
So you walked into a wall.
What is that?
That's your laptop.
Oh, hello.
That's it. Now walk forward.
Okay.
Walk forward. Put your hand out. Yes.
Hey.
You have won. Thank you.
Oh, what a day.
How did you enjoy that nightmare challenge?
It was awful. It's really scary, man.
When you were just grasping out and just trying to groping at nothing, thinking the door was shut.
Oh, that's what I was bumping into.
Yeah, you walked into the cat bed thing and then you kicked the tripod.
Brilliant. Oh, mate, that was fun.
So now you know what it feels like to go into that dungeon.
Yes.
And what do you think?
I want to go in the dungeon.
Is it terrifying? You look tired.
I know, I feel tired. It's draining, man.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm just going to grab a bit and then we'll do your challenge.
Now it's time for the final battle. Magic missile!
Okay, so in honour of Gary McCullum and his present to us, I am doing Dragon or Blaggin'.
Yeah,
and this is
back
where
again.
I make up a bunch of shit about an RPG, and you have to discern what the real shit is. And this time we're doing it about Shadowrun. So, in Shadowrun, as you know, it's a cyberpunk world that has magic in it. So which one of these is the real spell from Shadowrun? Is it prophylaxis, prophylactic, prophesize, propopolis?
Prophesize?
Unfortunately not, no.
Oh.
It is prophylaxis.
Oh.
I don't know what it does, I just like the name because it sounds a bit like condom.
Yeah.
Also, in Shadowrun, if you're a magic user, you can have things called mentor spirits, which are essentially like familiars. And I want you to tell me which one is the real one from Shadowrun.
Which one is the real one from Shadowrun?
Is it Big Bear, Hawk, Wang Jangler, Seducer?
I want it to be Big Bear.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
It is Seducer.
Ah, fuck. I was just picturing this big, kind of friendly, kind of...
Hey, I'm Big Bear. Come on, man, give us a hug.
Let's go steal some big in the baskets.
Okay, next up. Which one is the real weapon from Shadowrun? Is it Omnivoid? Is it Ari's S3 Super Squirt? Is it Holy Avenger? Or is it Wang Jangler?
Fucking Wang Jangler. I know it's not that because I know what that is.
You know all about that manoeuvre.
No,
The
it's
Wang
not
Jang
your
one.
games. That's why. What was it again? What was the first two again?
Omnivoid.
No.
Ari's S3 Super Squirt.
That one.
Yes, correct.
Super Squirt.
And the last one, in Shadowrun, obviously you have these fucking implants,
Yeah.
okay? And you can get cybernetic enhancements to your body. And what I want you to do is tell me which of these is the real implant weapon.
Implant weapon, right?
From
okay.
Shadowrun. Okay, is it wobbly arm?
Wobbly arm, yeah.
Stab face? Retractable spurs? Or biodegradable iron fist?
Biodegradable, but they go rusty then. I love stab face. It's like, come here. Oops,
It's
sorry.
just a face that turns into a knife.
Just headbutt them. It's just like a stab, yeah.
Take that, you bitch.
Take that. No, it's going to be, I think it's going to be, was it retractable spurs?
That is one of the answers, yes.
I think it's that one.
Okay, correct.
Yay!
So in this case, you sort of win, but I don't know because I never keep track of the scores.
Yeah, I win every time then.
No, you don't win.
Perfect.
You never win.
I always win.
No, you never win.
Winner.
Please die.
Bye.
Hey everybody, come gather around the fireside. I got a story to tell you about a time when I beat 2 goblins and 3 basilisks all by myself. That's right, I did it with my own 2 hands and my trusty 6-shooter, of course. But that's not the point. Point is, I beat him. I won. Fireside Tales.
Okay, so next up we have got Fireside Tales, and this is where we talk about our RPG experience stories, RPGs.
In our experience stories of RPG stories.
Exactly. So I'm going to go first.
Yep.
And I'm cheating a little bit because this story isn't actually something that I did. It's something that somebody else did. Now, last night I met with my good man Philip Conway. He is a veteran AD&D gamer, and he was telling me about his dearly departed dad and how much of a killer DM he was.
Oh, wow.
And basically, he was telling me that they were playing this game, right, in AD&D, where they got to a point where they needed to climb this cliff, right? And he, just before the game, he created a new character. He spent like an hour with his dad sorting it out. He got this character to the point where, you know, he was really happy with it. He'd gone down to every detail, and he started climbing this rope to get up a cliff.
Okay.
Right? And
nice and straightforward.
Immediately falls down and dies.
Oh, what?
Literally 5 minutes of in-game time, he dies.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then his dad's like, okay, look, we just started the session, so roll up another character, okay? And this time he does it without any thought because he's trying to get the game going, right? So Philip...
Well, everyone's waiting with him, isn't it?
Exactly. So
Shit.
he just rolls everything randomly, comes up with a character, takes like, I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever. Everyone
That's
has to
good
stop.
for AD&D.
Yeah, everyone has to stop for like 15 minutes. And he says, you know what? Your character can start at the top of the mountain that he's trying to climb. So he'll start at the top of the mountain, and he describes the scene to Philip, and he goes, okay, you look over the mountain, you can see a bunch of adventurers.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And he's like, I look over and I shout, ahoy there, or whatever. And he's like, do you want to do anything else? And he's like, no. And then his dad goes, okay, some orcs come up and push you off the side.
What?
And he dies again instantly.
Jeez.
So within about 20 minutes, he's killed 2 of his characters in a row.
Come on.
I know, man. That's a killer DM for you.
Now that is a serial killer DM.
Yeah, I think maybe Philip might have not tidied his room that day or something.
Wow, yeah, that's a bit mean. Okay, yeah, and so my Fireside Tale is from Call of Cthulhu game, going way back now. And it was basically what happened was, unfortunately, my beloved character Roland had died, because he did actually die. I managed to get him back, but we talked about that before in a previous pod. But so when Roland died, I needed a character that could get back into the party. So I made a con artist called Guy Playfair, who was he was a right laugh playing. But anyway, so we was thinking about. I wanted to think of a creative way to insert him into the game, and so I came up with the idea that obviously with him being a con artist, I thought he could have this kind of really crappy little kind of toll. And as the party had just lost Roland, and like the death of him was still in their minds, they were walking down the road, and there's this just really badly put together cardboard toll booth in their way, and just guys sitting in the little booth just like, hey fellas, we just installed a new toll for the city council to upgrade the highway, so it's $6 each. And you guys didn't want to pay, did you?
No, we everyone refused to pay. Everyone in the party refused to pay, and then so Guy was like, oh yeah, I'll stay with you guys then. and I'm going to stay with you guys until I get my $6.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so he was like, okay, well that's fine. You know, you can when you get the money, I'll take it off you then. We'll stick with you for now. And he ended up staying for absolutely ages and turning into an absolutely really fun character to play, I think. And I think like someone had mentioned my past character, Roden, who had just died. And he was just like, hey fellas, there's no use crying over spilt milk. And just like did a little skip and a hop and walked up.
Yeah. But he stayed with the party for a very, very long time. And basically, the only reason he was there is because he was waiting to get his $6.
$6 back.
And right at the end.
Oh, when we finally found got a way of getting Roland back via time travel, wasn't it?
Yeah, you went back in time, got Roland back, and got your old character back.
So lose Guy.
You had to lose Guy. And then the very last thing that happened was one of the other player characters, Jim, gave him $6. And he's like, well, okay, I guess that's me, guys.
Contract complete.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, it just strode off into the horizon. So happy with his money. Yeah,
he did like 3 weeks of work for about $6.
Yeah. But there you go.
And that's the life of a con man.
And that was Guy, and he was a lot of fun. And I'm glad that he
was cool, man.
Strolled away because he was a lot of fun to play. So yeah.
In the future, you will be able to send a letter from anywhere on the planet. This is the future. This is the Electro Letter.
So, we didn't give you guys much notice, and as a result, we didn't get many questions in. But that's alright. Don't worry about it, guys. No pressure. You know, if you want to send us any questions during the week, please do. We might do them on a bonus podcast. Who gives a shit? But the point is...
We don't mind.
We don't mind. We don't give a shit.
But we got some.
Yeah, we got some questions, blood. So what we're going to do, is we're going to answer them now, innit, blood? So the first question comes in from Jonathan Samuel. When you create a character, do you assume he has an outfit relevant to his profession, i.e. a doctor has a doctor's uniform, or do all characters have a standard uniform irrelevant to the game at first, or does it depend on the DM? Yo, man, it does really depend on the DM, but I would say that you gotta have starting gear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think that, like, as long as you're not taking the piss.
If it doesn't affect the game, you can say to... You
can have whatever outfit you want.
Whatever you want. So it's like, it's alright, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Let's go. Well, who's it? Oh, it was like... do you remember Ernest's character? He had a bit of a crisis, like midlife breakdown, and wanted to become cool, and then he went into that house and found...
But that was halfway through a game. But like, he was a scout leader, and so he started off with a scout uniform.
Yeah.
Because it's not gameplay affecting. I mean, in games like Pathfinder, where you can buy armour and shit like that, and you have to use your starting gold... Well, that's fine, because you start with some gold to spend on goods that you want to start the game.
But if you want black trousers, you can have
black trousers. Who gives a shit? It doesn't affect anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, let's say if you're playing Cthulhu or something, you can't say, my guy always wears a suit of knight armour, because it's like, nah.
With a knife in my bum cheeks.
Yeah, and I've got a rocket launcher. It's like, nah. But if it is relevant to the profession, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if it gives you, like, some bonuses, like, you know, if you are wearing a
think of straight away, though, but you can use creatively. So it's
like, you know, you are wearing a doctor's outfit, so people are going to believe you that you're a doctor or whatever.
You've got I can't say the word. Spesicoat.
What's that? A stethoscope. Jesus Christ. Yeah, basically...
You can conceivably argue why you'd have it, and there's no reason why.
Yeah, you should... I think you should start with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
But it should be relevant to your character, basically.
Yeah, I think so as well.
The second question we got in is from Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain.
That's confusing.
Yeah.
I thought that something bad happened to Kurt Cobain.
Long time ago, yeah.
You can't say that Courtney Love killed him. You can't say it, and I'm not gonna. But anyway, Kurt Cobain asks, what do you propose the impact of Brexit will be on the UK, imports, economy, and countries outside the EU?
Should we ask America, seeing as we talk to them?
Yeah, you tell us, man.
America,
I don't read the news.
We don't know.
What is a Brexit?
It's like a biscuit.
Sounds delicious. But yes, US listeners, chime in, see what you think. But we don't want to get political in this show, Kurt Cobain.
It's not what we're about.
Look, you make some good music, but I've got to draw the line.
Yeah, we don't do politics.
Thank you for Nevermind. That was a good album.
Very good album.
But it's time to grow up, Kurt Cobain. It's time to grow up. Get off the heroin.
Start making some more music.
And more music, mate. You haven't made an album in ages.
Yeah, we love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Kurt Cobain.
My name's Alan Rickman, and I'm
My name's also Alan Rickman.
No, I'm the real Alan Rickman.
No, wait, I'm Alan Rickman. But I'm not. No, wait.
No,
what?
no, I'm Alan Rickman.
No, shush, I'm TableTopTwats.
A real letter, physical electro letter. Fizzlet.
Physical electro letter.
Yeah, that's a oxymoron.
No, you're a moron.
No, you're an oxymoron.
No, what the fuck? Okay, what's Zach's question?
Oh dear, sorry, let me get Zachary.
I'll do this one after.
Zachary's up. Okay, so our next question's come in from Zach, the Jenk. Now, I hope he's not angry with us.
The thing about Zach is, listeners,
I
is
think
that
we gave a bit too much away last time.
he is a hardened criminal and he's just served time.
No. Don't.
Oh, right, yeah, we're not supposed to say.
He's an upstanding member of the
society and...
Pillar, some could say.
Exactly, and has done a lot of work for charity.
Lots.
Is what I mean.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll read his question.
Yeah, you better get on with it, mate, because he's going to get really angry. Okay. No, charitable. That's what I mean. Yes,
very charitable.
Yeah.
When ruffled. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. No. You pretentious twats.
Wait, this is Is this you talking or is it him?
This is Zach.
Okay, so it says, "No, you pretentious twats."
The plural of moose is moose.
Don't know about that.
No.
No, it's definitely correct. Is what I mean.
Is moose.
Right. Thank you.
Also,
so there are many moose.
Yeah, many moose.
Many moose have many eyes.
Many moose. That's like a warning. Many moose have many eyes.
Well, it's like Lord of the Rings.
Many moose have many rings.
Many spies have many eyes.
Many spiders have many eyes.
Yes. Right. So many moose.
No, you pretentious twats. The plural of moose is moose. Also, what are your favourite classes to play in D&D/Pathfinder?
Hey, I like a paladin. No, actually, I mean my favourite class to play is I'm gonna go wizard. Yeah. I like to be old school, and I like playing a spellcaster because they're challenging. Other classes are challenging as well. It depends on what you're doing, obviously. But what I like about wizard is there's a lot to think about. And we've said before, that the DM puts in a lot of work, so you should put in the work yourself as a player. And for me, being a wizard is cool because you do have to think about it a lot, and you have to think about what spells you're going to prepare that day and stuff like that. And I quite like that because it means it's like a nice, easy way of putting in a little bit of extra effort into my character every time I need to do shit with them, picking my spells and shit like that, and having to think about combat in interesting ways and things. So that's why I quite like playing a spellcaster. It's not to say I don't like playing other classes. It's just that's why I enjoy it, basically.
Yeah, totally. Well, my personal experience. So my first time we played Pathfinder, which is my only time I've actually, I haven't, as everyone's aware, I haven't played D&D yet, so I've only played Pathfinder, so I can go on that. But the first time we played Pathfinder, we converted my character, didn't we?
Yeah, because you used your Call of Cthulhu character and we converted him over.
So I played a human, obviously.
And he was a gunslinger.
Yes.
Which isn't one of the classes that's included in the core rulebook. I'm fairly certain it's from one of the other ones, but we had to, I didn't have that book, so we used the online system reference document to make it.
Yeah, and it was fun playing him, but I've got to say I'd never been a magic user before. So this time around on Pathfinder, it's the first time I've played a magic user. I'm a druid and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving this class. So I don't know whether it be, I don't know if it's, I mean, druid is cool because I love animals anyway. You know that. So being able to just chat to like flies, for example, for the other day.
Yeah, we spent a very, very long time talking to a bunch
it was getting a bit boring.
Flies in the pub. And we were just like, mate, this could be so handy. We get a bunch of flies.
Yeah.
And then we were going to use them to fly in and spy on people.
But then they got drunk and started dying.
And we were killing them by accident. Fucking hell.
Fucking Flynn McFly. But so Drew talks to them, and also I can use magic, and I'm loving it. It's really good fun. So at the moment, because it's the only one I've played, but out and a human, I'm loving it, being a magic user.
I think it's quite fun because you sort of get these. They're almost like ways of breaking the rules, and it's like it's an investigatory campaign, and James has got this very sort of streamlined story that he wants to tell, and he kind of moves us to these different scenes where everyone's investigating everything and stuff, and it's kind of cool because it means you can sort of skewer that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we were supposed to discover the body in this room, but you just asked the cat what was in there, and then he told us, and you're like, it's things like that create these sort of uncinematic moments that kind of make Pathfinder so much fun, because in a film that wouldn't happen. You'd have this grand reveal, and yet you were just like, what's in there? Dead body? And you're like, alright, cool.
She's in there. I was like, sweet, she's in there, you know.
Yeah, and it's just, that's why I think playing Magic Users is so fun, because it's like you get these moments where you just get to almost...
and when we tried to get away as well, we caused a bit of trouble in a doctor's surgery and shrunk someone and
put him in a drawer
and tortured him a little bit, and then needed to get out, and I had obscuring mist. So just created a huge cloud around us, and we just got out.
Well, that was brilliant because we're both magic users. So what happened was that we were trying to get information out of this doctor. So we used reduced person, shrunk him, put him in a drawer, and then was pouring acid in there to sort of torture him. And then
we put the frighteners on him. We didn't actually hurt him first of all, did we?
No. And then when we realised that we were flogging a dead horse, I used sleep to put him back to sleep.
That's right. Yeah.
Then we left.
Obscuring mist.
Yeah, obscuring mist. Get out there. And it was so much fun, and I think that's why we like playing those. But then I suppose when you're playing like a fighter or something like that,
we're weak though, aren't we?
Yeah, we're so weak. But you have that challenge in other ways as a fighter, because you don't have those spells, and you have to think of creative ways around things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of everything has its merits, really, I guess.
I think so. But at the moment, for me, magic user, because it's new and it's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Thank you very much. Sorry. We're really sorry.
We're sorry, Zach, who is a charitable person. So we've got a physical electro letter.
Physical electro letter.
If you watched our video, you would have seen this, but we got a bit of paper in the package from Gary, and Gary says, "Keep up the fine work, you twats," from some giant fat bald guy in Canada, and then he signed at the bottom.
Nice. Can I see his signature?
Yes, you can, because we need to forge it.
Oh, nice.
We need to steal money from Gary.
Gary. We love you, Gary. Thanks for the package.
No nudes. What the fuck?
No nudes. Oh, yeah. He said he was going to send naked pictures. He didn't.
Let us down, Gary.
Go fuck yourself, Gary.
Thanks for this nice Canadian paper. Smells like Canada.
Smells like
maple syrup.
Nudes.
Smells like nudes.
He rubbed his sack on this.
Shabba, big up the shout out.
So this is our shout-out segment where we want to talk about our esteemed colleagues on the Nerds International Network. Who are we going to talk about, Nick?
Why have we slipped into 1950s radio broadcasting?
This is the BBC. Beep. You're listening to the shipping forecast. So this week we want to talk about the brilliant Gathering of Dorks. And you know why? It's because recently Jamie put a message out on the Wild Die, and he said that he's going to get back to doing more live plays, because that was what the Gathering of Dorks was all about in the beginning, about playing games. And for me, that's awesome, because the Gathering of Dorks have really, really great live plays, and they always tend to knock it out of the park. So I would highly recommend to go and listen to that podcast. Listen to the back episodes too, because they're really great.
And there's loads, and they play everything.
Yep, and they used to do a segment called Dorks Discuss, which is really good. They're not doing it anymore, but those are cool too. So there's a lot
I could recommend a couple of cracking episodes would be Forget About It.
Yes, classic.
Resident Evil's pretty funny.
Yes.
And there's take your pick. There's so many there to choose from. They're all good.
I really liked the episode about GM Burnout. That was quite good.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. Yeah.
So I would recommend going and listen to them, because it involves Jamie Pearson, and Jamie Pearson is a sex criminal. I mean, great guy.
Sexy criminal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, I mean great guy.
Great guy.
You never let me finish.
Sorry.
That's what I meant. I meant to say great guy, but I accidentally said sex criminal, because I say that sometimes by accident.
Sex criminal.
So you just did it.
I was calling you one.
What?
Because you are.
What?
No.
Sushi!
Sushi!
Let's say, for instance, you've listened to this show and you think, I want to get in touch with those guys. I want to touch those guys. And
I want to tell them they're fuckers.
Yes, I want to complain about this show because I hate it.
Let's say your wife just walks through the door
when you're trying to do the segment.
So Carmen, my lovely lady wife, how do they get in touch with us?
She doesn't like to talk on the podcast, Nick.
Hello,
here she is.
Hi, Carmen.
I thought we'd get her to do the contact details. So yeah, how can they get in touch with us? So they can get in touch with us on our email.
How do you spell that?
Which is
TableTopTwats@gmail.com.
also, where else can they get in touch with us?
Google Plus.
And what network at Google Plus?
Nerds International.
Yeah, exactly. Where else, Harrison?
Tumblr. We don't know how it works.
Don't know how that one works.
And
Also,
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, which is Tabletop T, because we weren't allowed to have twats.
Oh.
And the last one is Twitter.
Yes.
Which is the only form that Zach Jenkins chooses to use because he's that powerful. He just
I think
gets
they
in
can
touch
only
with
get
us through
Twitter when they're in jail.
Absolutely. And I'd say thank you very much.
Thanks, Carmen.
No worries.
Lovely.
Lovely. You're the man.
Okay, we're done. Okay, so every week we like to give you guys a thought to ponder on during the week while you're waiting for the next episode to come out. And this week will be no exception. Usually we'll give you the answer for last week's one, and I'm going to do that now. So this week's one is, are there badgers in space? And if so, would Gordon go to find them? And that's it from us at Tabletop Twats. Say goodbye, Nick.
Goodbye, Nick.
No, say goodbye. Okay, you did. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
Done it right this time.
Okay, thank you very much for listening. And there is one thing that needs to be said to our audience.
It's got to be said.
Nick?
Chicken McBosh.
Previously on Tabletop Twats.
That Harrison that you do this stupid cast pod with is actually a space criminal. We're going to travel through time to a point where he was weaker and shoot him in the noggin. You come into my club, interrupt my night, make me get out of my glarking chair. What did you do that for? What's the problem? I said hit him, not throw acid in his face.
Thank fuck we got away from that. That was some scary shit back there.
You fucked everything up. Now he knows our faces. He's going to be looking for us. We are fucked. Hang on. Can you hear something?
Yeah, I can. What the? Is that a giant robot?
We're gonna die. This is the bit where we. Oh fuck! Oh Lord! Oh, I feel awful.
I can't see.
Where are we? Is this a hospital?
Oh, it smells like one.
Sir, could you please get back into your bed?
No.
Sir, come on. You've got to stay. You've got to rest. The doctor said so.
I'll tell you when to shut up.
We need 2 electricians' outfits with masks now.
Oh, can you find us a gun?
Yeah. I can get you one of those. You wait here. I'll be back in a minute.
I sure can't wait till he comes back with that gun. Fucking freezing out.
Here you go, mate. 1 gun. Thanks for the trousers.
Hey, no problem. Weird gun though.
That's normally void. See that chamber near the handle? That synthesizes a zithrosite bullet in nanoseconds. Trouble is, the barrel needs to be cool in order to fire, so the barrels in the front rotate like a revolver, giving each one time to cool down before firing the bullet.
Whoa.
It's a work of engineering and nanoscientific genius. Yeah, good work. And you got this for us for a pair of trousers. I'm a drug dealer, but I'm not beneath helping my fellow carbon-based life forms.
Well, thanks, mate. What's your name again?
My name's Gil. Organic Gil.
Well, we better get walking. See you around, Gil.
Have a good one. Okay, try to walk a bit faster, Nick. Times are wasting. Harrison's house is a fair bit away.
Sorry, Al. So, how are we going to cause the power outage when we get there?
Funnily enough, by this point, technology with regards to electricity hasn't changed an awful lot, so it should be quite similar to what you're used to in your time. And you're an electrician, so I was hoping to defer to you on this one.
Well, you could pull out the main fuse, but that's typically inside the house, or use an EMP, but we got no money. So the only option would be to blow up a substation.
Well, the only one is about 5 minutes walk from his house.
Well, that's fine. It's likely that we'll still be the only electricians that'll turn up to his house. After all, the real electricians will be focusing on the exploded substation.
Perfect. Okay, we'll go there first, blow up the thing, then run over to Harrison's House of Evil.
Okay, yeah. This looks pretty much like any substation from my time. The fence, the Eiffel Tower looking thing, grey boxes, it's all the same.
So you know how to destroy it?
Yeah, sure. Just shoot the gun at that bit there.
Understood. Although, why isn't there any security here?
Well, people never really mess with these, so the fence usually does the trick, and that's it.
But usually, anything that isn't guarded gets vandalised, stolen or raped within seconds. Why not these?
Well, because only a complete moron would mess with one of these. They're extremely volatile and dangerous.
Right. Get ready to run as soon as I do this.
Yep.
Go, go, go! There's his house. Don't stop. Come on.
He's got guards out front.
Don't worry. We'll talk our way past them. We're disguised. And look, no lights. The power cut worked.
Yep. What do you want?
Hi there. We're here to fix the fucking...
fuck.
Come on, spit it out.
We're electricians, as you can see. We're here to fix the power cut.
Yeah. We believe that the cause of the node failure was to do with a break in the auxiliary cable circuit within this property. If we get that back online, we should be able to restore power.
Okay, let me call the boss. Hello, boss? Yeah, we've got 2 wankers out here. Need to fix the electricity. Yep. Yep, wankers. Yep, okay. Yep. Okay, go in.
Holy fuck, it worked!
What?
He said, let's get to work.
Alright, go on in. Gates open.
Who needs paths this long to get to their own house?
I couldn't agree more.
So, the front door.
Nick, you take the gun.
Thanks, Al.
You came on this quest with me. No hesitation, putting your life on the line for a galaxy with barely a thought for yourself. You deserve the credit for this one. I mean, yes, you are an idiot with a brain so small it'd barely cover a Jacob's cream cracker, and yes, you fuck everything up, and yes...
Alright, Al.
You know what? Give me that gun back, actually.
No. I want it. I'm ringing the doorbell.
Yeah?
Don't fucking move. Hands in the air, 1 step out of line and you'll become an excuse to get the house recarpeted.
You?
Yeah, me. Your goose has been plucked, amigo.
What? That's a terrible line. What does that even mean?